Welcome to Pharma Phase. Today we are going to learn what is a drug or a medicine, difference between medicine and vitamins with examples, what are dosage forms and API, what is IND, NDA.
All right, welcome. So, most of us have taken a medicine at some point in our lives, right? But have you ever really, truly stopped to think about what's going on inside that little pill? Today, we're going to pull back that curtain and find out.
You've probably held a tiny pill in your hand and not thought much about it. But just think about the incredible, complex journey it took just to get there. We're going to trace that whole path, right from a spark of an idea all the way to that pharmacy shelf.
So, let's start where we all do, with the final product. You know, that pill, or maybe it's a syrup, or even an injection. That's the form we're all familiar with. But in the world of pharmacy, this whole delivery system actually has a very specific name.
It's called the dosage form. And it's a pretty brilliant concept when you think about it. It's basically the delivery vehicle. It's designed to hold the medicine and make it super easy for us to take. But here's the thing. The vehicle isn't the engine. The real power, the part that actually does all the heavy lifting, is hidden deep inside.
So what is that power? What's the engine in our little vehicle? Let's peel back the layers of this dosage form and get right to its core. Let's find the real star of the show.
And here it is. It's called the active pharmaceutical ingredient, or API for short. This is the stuff that matters. It's the actual chemical substance that interacts with your body to produce a specific intended effect. It is the entire reason the medicine works in the first place.
And this makes something really clear. The API, the workhorse of the medicine, isn't just mixed up in the back of your local pharmacy. Nope. This is a complex chemical that's synthesized in highly controlled labs and massive industrial facilities. So that begs the question, how does this powerful lab-created ingredient safely make the journey into our hands?
Well, let me tell you, it has to survive a long and incredibly rigorous journey. This is not a quick trip. It's more like a multi-stage gauntlet, and it's designed with one thing in mind above all else, ensuring safety and effectiveness.
So the whole process kicks off with something called an investigational new drug, or an IND. Just picture a promising new chemical, an exciting idea being tested in a lab. From that starting point, it has to survive years of intense clinical trials to prove it's safe and that it actually works. Only if it passes all those tests can a new drug application, the NDA, be filed. And only after that application gets the final green light can the drug finally be made available to you and me.
Let's just put it this way to make it super simple. The IND is like the starting pistol for a long research race. The NDA, on the other hand, is the formal application to cross the finish line and finally get out to the public. They are two totally different stages of a very long and demanding process.
Okay, now for a really fundamental principle that might sound a little weird at first. Medicines don't give our bodies new superpowers. They can't just create functions that weren't already there to begin with. Instead, they work with the systems we already have. Here's a really simple way to think about it. Imagine your body is like a house with a thermostat. A medicine doesn't come in and install a whole new heating system. No way. It just walks over to the thermostat that's already on the wall and turns the temperature up or down. It just modifies the existing system. So a medicine, whether it's something like penicillin G or amlodipine, is really just a chemical that tweaks a process that's already running in your body to help treat a disease.
You know, this brings up a really important and super common point of confusion. If medicines are chemical substances that affect our bodies, then what about things like vitamins and minerals? Where do they fit in?
Let's just ask the question directly. Based on everything we've just learned, do things like vitamin C or zinc actually fit our definition of a medicine?
Well, based on our definition, the answer is actually no. And here's the key difference. Medicines are brought in to change a bodily function, usually to fight off a disease. Nutrients, on the other hand, are required for the normal day-to-day operation of our bodies. They support our existing functions. They don't fundamentally alter them.
So when we're talking about things like folic acid, vitamin C, zinc, or calcium, these are all absolutely essential for our health, for sure. But they fall into the category of nutrients, not medicines. They're part of the body's standard operating toolkit.
And there you have it. From a simple chemical idea in a lab, that's our IND, through years and years of demanding trials, to a formal application for approval, our NDA, and then finally into a dosage form on your pharmacy shelf. It's a truly incredible journey for that tiny pill you hold in your hand.
So this leaves us with a really fascinating question to think about. If today's medicines are basically just modifiers, what does the future hold? What happens when we can move beyond simply changing functions to maybe restoring them or even creating new ones? Well, that is the next great frontier in medicine. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer.
Thanks for watching the video. Like if you like the video, put a sweet comment, subscribe for more such videos, share if it's helpful to someone.